Yeah. They all got something to say. Better get out of my way. We do it all in a day. Tell them that we're not the same. Go for the takedown. Levels to this not the same now. Taking them out, better stay down. Been giving them balls like a playground. Oh yeah, and you're gonna know my name. I've been an animal. I see the fear in your eyes. Move like a cannibal. Yeah, I'm ready to rise. Hot like I'm flammable. I got the fire inside. Run like an animal. I'm ready to rise. Yeah. They all got something to say. Better get out of
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ryse Pro Wrestling, March 11th of 2023. My name is Jim Amata, being joined by Ty Cross. And Ty, we have another blockbuster evening on tap here tonight.
We have some excellent pro wrestling lined up. We've got titles on the line, and we're kicking it off with the great success right here in the Stronghold.
That young man right there, one Great Alexander, has not been making any friends, but he has been making headlines. He considers himself the heir apparent to the throne here in Ryse, and his cohorts believe the exact same thing.
You don't have to worry about making friends when you got those two friends right there.
That remorseless mercenary, Johnny Norris, has been laying people to waste. Making his official Ryse debut here, Jason Hendrix is one of the top prospects out of the Stronghold Academy. So you're certainly seeing two diametrically opposed students of Braden K going to clash together here. But Mr. Hendrix has drawn a very tough assignment for his first major outing here in Ryse Wrestling.
Well, absolutely. When you're stepping in to the ring with a five-tool athlete like the great Gerard, it's a big step up. I got to tell you, from student matches and classes, but there's no better way to dive in head first in this Ryse ring than singles competition in front of possibly the largest crowd in Ryse wrestling history.
Opening bell here, Ty Cross, once again for IndyWrestling.us. I'm Jim Amata, of course. You're still Ty Cross. And on what could be a very pivotal evening,
Hendrix is already popular with his audience.
To shape Ryse Wrestling in 2023, we're going to have Hendrix and Gerard kick us off. As you said, Gerard Garrett, no flaws in his game. That young man right there is a consummate professional, a consummate athlete. And this is the technical matchup that we would expect coming from Gerard Garrett, and of course Hendrix, who is out of the Stronghold Academy.
You see a little bit of hair pull in there. The referee didn't quite catch it, so good on Gerard Garrett for knowing his positioning. That's some veteran ring awareness right off the bat.
Ring generalship, absolutely. Hendrix out the back door, slaps on the side headlock. We're going to see the momentum shift here back and forth. It's who can exploit and make the most of an advantage, because the competition level here in Ryse is so high. It's just one small misstep, one small miscalculation could end the night for you very, very easily. Hendrix looking for a way to escape, and he does so. And Ty Cross, if you can, I mean, you've hung up your boots, you're now with the microphone. But what was it like for you in your first debut inside of professional wrestling? What is going through the mind of one Jason Hendrix right now?
I was lucky enough to debut. Well, we got a cover here. I was lucky enough to debut in a battle royal setting. But I can tell you, I've never had that feeling of nerves in my life.
A lot of butterflies,
The first time you walk through that curtain in front of live people, you've got all those eyes turned on you. It's a terrifying moment, and it's about being able to, big shoulder tackle there from Garrett. It's about being able to step up and rise, no pun, to the moment, to the challenge, and we're going to see it right here. So far, Hendrix has looked really good, but Garrett, not a ton of experience, but definitely a plethora more experience than Hendrix has.
Hendrix with the advantage here. Deep arm drag. And this is what Hendrix is going to have. Now see, there is that pedigree of Gerard Garrett. Hendrix was making some way, making some offense, generating some momentum. Gerard Garrett knew exactly what to do to cut off that momentum.
That's when the opposing team puts up a couple of baskets in a row and you can't get anything going on offense. You take a timeout. That's what's happening right here. Hendrix gets a couple of baskets. Gerard Garrett says, timeout, regroup, let's get back in and stifle that momentum.
Hendrix one step ahead here, jackknife pin. Almost allowed Gerard Garrett to get out the back door that time. Leg sweep. You can't allow yourself to get over enthusiastic either, Ty Cross.
No, and Hendrix has done a pretty good job of keeping his head so far. Was a little overzealous with that roll through pin, but now going for this monkey flip.
You
and
want to
Garrett
talk about ring generalship? Gerard Garrett
knows exactly where he is.
Using the ropes as a tag team partner.
Sorry to cut you off there. Knowing exactly where he was, holding onto the ropes, not getting caught up with that monkey flip. Very impressive by the ultra athlete of Ryse Wrestling here, Gerard Garrett.
Certainly a blue chip athlete. As we said, he doesn't do any one thing great. He just does everything really good.
You know, they say a jack of all trades knows how to do everything, but I don't know a jack of all trades in this world that can do everything as perfectly as Magnificent Gerard. I have to admit that.
Hammerlock body slam. And what you're seeing right there is Gerard Garrett deciding to pinpoint a body part, to work and chip away. And that's his style. Methodical, at his pace, make no mistakes, get the job done as efficiently as possible.
And he was able to weather the early storm from Hendrix, which is very impressive. And Hendrix has looked great thus far, but I think now with the huge chop, with the possible injury to that shoulder area, could be the final turn of the tide here. Could be all downhill for Hendrix.
Gerard Garrett bars the arm, shoots him off. Man, caught him right in the sternum. Pinpoint precision from Gerard Garrett.
Follows up with a big elbow.
Everything very crisp, very precise from Gerard Garrett, but he did not hook the leg that time. That is perhaps the one small mistake we've seen so far. But then again, that's the MO of the great success as a group here. They are so cocky, so overconfident.
Well, and you got to think too, if they're scoring this on points, you can see there, look at Johnny Norris just choking the life out of Hendrix right now.
The big man is earning his money.
But like I was saying, you got to think, if we're scoring this on points, the amount of back points that Gerard Garrett has scored so far without even making those covers, just, you know, the foot on the chest holding him down. I think he's just proving a point here. Oh, up and over!
Hendrix got caught. Hendrix made a mistake here. And how are you going to adapt from here? How are you going to improvise? Because improvise, adapt, and overcome are also very critical in the sport of professional wrestling. You can speak to that.
And how many times do we see a competitor get a sunset flip like that and go over clean? You know, kudos on Gerard Garrett for being able to kind of adjust his body weight and not go with the momentum of the maneuver. That's just tough stand-up wrestling there by Gerard Garrett.
Gerard, of course, congratulating his cohorts here, despite the fact that he hasn't actually won the match yet.
I'd be impressed too. I'd be proud of myself if I fought off a sunset flip as hard as he did.
Cover here. And once again, the fact of the matter is you're not going to win a matchup in Ryse Wrestling if you don't hook the leg. The level of competition is just too high in this organization.
I will say with that cover, though, at least he was putting a little emphasis on that shoulder area that he's been working on. Kind of did that pin with the hammer lock.
And just think about this, Ty Cross. We're starting the evening off with this matchup with these two young guns in the wrestling business. We've got Mathis on the card tonight. Watch out. Of course, the main event, Edric Everhart defending against Pretty Boy Smooth. That's a grudge that has to be resolved.
There's a lot of years and a lot of miles on this card tonight, and we're starting it off with two of the youngest competitors on the roster, and it's very impressive. This is a hot start for the show for sure.
It's a very competitive matchup, again, speaking to the level of competition in Ryse Wrestling, absolutely.
Yeah, but as I said before, I think maybe that final ship has sailed for Jace and Hendrix here. I think that we're on that downward slope to the finish line, and it's looking all Gerard Garrett so far. Wait a second. I might be wrong here.
Beautiful neck breaker from Hendrix. Could be the opening he was looking for. Transition to a pinfall attempt immediately that time. And despite Jason Hendrix being a rising rookie in this sport, Gerard Garrett is really being taken to task here. Gerard Garrett's going to earn his paycheck tonight.
But you notice he always finds a way to get back on top, to get back in control.
Gerard charges. Hendrix avoids the contact. Hendrix could be going for a home run swing. He's perched up top. He got him!
Unbelievable!
You have to call that an upset.
Wait, now Norris is not happy.
Look out. And now Jason Hendrix, a young man that's just trying to make his impression, make his way in the wrestling business, is getting absolutely mugged, and thankfully.
And here we got the Ryse Wrestling Brigade coming to the ring.
Brandon K may be teaching the great Alexander some respect right now.
Wait, who's this?
That's David Lawless. The gavel just hit the ring. We know he's scheduled to face Brandon. And there's the knockout shot with that oak gavel. That is a solid oak gavel, and he cracked Brandon right in the temple. Ryse management, Chris LaRusso here. And Brandon K got hit right in the temple. And that bastard is happy about it. David Lawless is happy about it.
Unbelievable.
Stupid mustache! Stupid mustache!
The crowd chanting stupid mustache, and I gotta tell you, we've had 3 mustaches in the ring just in this first contest. I don't know who they're talking to.
And now the story becomes, will Brandon K be able to compete later tonight? What shape will Brandon K be in when the bell rings for that matchup with the gavel, David Wallace? Quite sure what the Runway are wearing.
You wouldn't understand. You're not as fashion forward as these two, the Runway right here.
But I'll tell you what, I know one accessory the Runway does not have with them, and that is Benjamin C. Steele. The last time we saw the Runway in Ryse back in January, they sent BC Steele packing. BC may be wearing a pair of concrete shoes right now for all we know. But the bottom line is the Runway want to recapture those Ryse Tag Team Championships, and they're going to have to rack up some victories in order to do that. Oh, wait a minute, that's Money Shot.
You've got to be kidding me.
Money Shot just blindsiding the Rad Boyz.
Luckily, that Tyrannosaurus Rex was able to get out of Dodge.
And what the hell are Money Shot doing out here? This is not their matchup. They jumped the Rad Boyz. Zach Nystrom and Elijah Dean have done it again. They are putting their fingerprints all over this Ryse
Rad Boyz absolutely being targeted here.
This is not their matchup.
Wait a second.
Money Shot hijacking this Ryse event again.
No honor among thieves, and they are stealing the spotlight right now.
What are we going to do about the Runway and the Rad Boyz? This was a scheduled matchup.
I wish I could tell you, but that's way above my pay grade, Jim.
And Money Shot is going to continue to run roughshod over Ryse Wrestling. We can't have this. Contracts are signed, matches are supposed to take place, and these guys have just decided that they're going to try to interrupt this entire event.
Who gets the winner's purse?
Now, your new main event of the evening, a four-corner tag team.
Oh my!
The Runway and the Rad Boyz.
The tag team championships now up for grabs. Four-corner tag team contest, Jim.
Money Shot just made their night exponentially more difficult, but the bottom line is the tag team titles will be decided in tonight's main event.
I'll be honest, as far as entrance music is concerned, this is a genius tactic if this is done on purpose on the part of the competitor here.
The Professor Jakob Edwinn, and unfortunately, I got to admit, that is a pretty dumb sweater.
I got to disagree with the audience here. I like the sweater. I think it's nice. It's got a good color, potentially Irish made.
I'm Italian. I got heat with the Irish.
Well, I'm Italian too, but I appreciate a nice sweater when I see one, Jim.
Well, you're a Paisan too.
Yeah, you better believe it.
That's why we get along. Never want to forget your pants, Ty
This crowd
Cross.
does not appreciate
Never want to forget your
strong
pants.
fashion. And here we go.
Uniontown is on their feet.
Perhaps the most popular single competitor in Ryse Wrestling. Cowpoke Paul himself, a hero to these Uniontown faithful, these Stronghold faithful, is here, live and in person. And he's looking to rustle up some Professor today.
Paul could be looking to settle a score. There's that man right there, Jakob Edwinn, started last month. It was Jakob Edwinn like a thief in the night, blindsiding Cowpoke Paul during that tag match against Money Shot. We didn't even realize it was Jakob Edwinn. Our cameras caught it. We didn't find out until after the event concluded on Ryse social media that it was in fact Jakob Edwinn. And Ty, I don't have to tell you about the resume that Jakob Edwinn brings to the table. This guy, a 10-year pro, has wrestled all over the place.
And all this crowd can care about is the man's sweater. It's a shame, honestly. And I'd say it's the Cowpoke Paul love, but you can't blame him for that. They've been chanting stupid sweaters since the man walked through the curtain.
The Professor believes he is the smartest man on all subjects, Ty Cross.
I'm not the smartest man on any subject, so I'm not one to argue with him.
He claims his many degrees in quantum physics are going to help him win this matchup.
Wait a second now. Cowpoke Paul's got the sweater. Edwinn doesn't realize, oh no. The ultimate disrespect. You don't mess with another man's knit wool sweater. And this crowd has come unglued over the sweater.
Oh, on a frosty March evening, somebody's not going to be chilly, I know that.
Certainly not. Mrs. Cowpoke's baby boy, Cowpoke Paul. And now the crowd appreciates the sweater. I'm starting to think that all that malice was directed towards Edwinn himself and not the sweater at all, Jim.
You all right? You're getting a little upset over there.
It's a nice sweater.
Well, I think the Professor has been a little frazzled.
I gotta admit something, I got the exact same sweater in maroon, and that is why I've taken this so personally. And I wore it to my cousin's birthday party, Jim. They're great sweaters. And poor Professor Edwinn is now out. A wool Irish sweater. Cowpoke Paul may have dug his own grave here.
Well, Jakob Edwinn wanted to stick his nose in Cowpoke Paul's business. Cowpoke Paul getting a measure of revenge here.
But he didn't have to make it so personal, Jim.
Edwinn going to look for a way to escape here. He's a little frazzled that his sweater has been sent into the third row. But as I mentioned, a 10-year pro, Jakob Edwinn is no slouch.
And you see some genuine pro wrestling from the Professor. And I got to tell you, I forgot this was going to be a pro wrestling contest.
Jakob Edwinn has zigzagged all over the Northeast, even into the Southwest, as far away as Oklahoma, Nebraska over his decade as a professional wrestler. Some of our fans of IndyWrestling.us will remember Jakob Edwinn is a regular at the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. I want to say hello to our friends over there. Say hello to Doc Dougherty and everybody over there. Jakob Edwinn, a former tag team champion and a no limits champion in RWA. Of course, our founder, Brandon Kay, is going to be there relatively soon as well. So the point being is that Jakob Edwinn has a championship pedigree. That is the level of talent that he brings to the table.
But the man that's got him currently with the arm hammer lock could be a champion one day as well.
Edwinn here shoots Cowpoke in.
Up and over.
Man, what a crisp arm drag.
Speed, quickness, and technique. 3 key tools for cattle wrestling and pro wrestling.
Certainly a successful combination for the Cowpoke. Edwinn going to try to work his way back up to a vertical base here to neutralize the pressure. Backs Cowpoke up. Paul one step ahead. Edwinn back down to the canvas.
Jakob Edwinn, new to this Ryse crowd. You got to think there's never been much more of a home game in Ryse Wrestling than Cowpoke Paul with these fans.
Well, again, Jakob Edwinn picked this fight. And now you reap what you sow, and that's exactly what's happening here. Edwinn up and over.
Right up, Cowboy, no! Edwinn did his homework and slips out the back.
He is the professor for a reason. He was one step ahead that time. A very cerebral wrestler is Jakob Edwinn. There's no doubt about that.
He probably had a teacher's assistant watch tape and take notes for him. I'm sorry, professor's assistant.
Makes you wonder what he's carrying in that very large book at ringside.
I would imagine pages. Wow. We're getting real personal here with Cowpoke Paul.
Knowing his reputation, you wonder if that book is just literature or not. And as we said, Edwinn's not going to be one to ignore, one to take a cheap shot. Shoots Cowpoke Paul in. Charges here. Victory roll, shoulders down, no. You want to know how good Cowpoke Paul is? He's going step for step with a 10-year veteran in there.
Not to mention the amount of tenure he's probably got at the university.
Cowpoke got dropped on those ropes. Ty, you can attest as a former in-ring competitor, those ropes are steel cables.
It's steel wrapped in hose, and it's not fun at all. It hurts just to run the ropes, let alone be dropped across them. I know one of the first things you learn as a trainee coming into this business is you learn how devastating those ropes can be when you run them again and again. They leave bruises just across the shoulder blades.
And if you notice, dropping Cowpoke across those steel cables, driving the air out of them. Now Jakob Edwinn going for the body lock, going to try to compress the rib cage and restrict the breathing of Cowpoke Paul. There was certainly a game plan in mind from the professor.
Well, that's the 1967 Lumiere technique that he probably read about in his many studies.
And again, going back to the body lock, clearly Jakob Edwinn going to target the ribs. You can speak to how important it is to have that crisp cardio inside the ring ropes. If you can't breathe, you can't fight.
You can't run, you can't move, you can't fight.
The
I gotta tell you,
the lactic acid builds up in the muscle.
Absolutely. At first I thought you were going to say how important it is to have ribs, which is super important in any event, let alone a pro wrestling event like this. Back to the gut again.
Edwinn caught Cowpoke coming in.
That entire lower midsection has taken so much damage.
Gut wrench, side salto suplex. As you can see the nasty nature of Jakob Edwinn with the crossface on that pin attempt.
And when you have bruise and damage done to the ribs, anything landing on your side, your stomach, your back, a kick to the gut, a shot to the kidney, they all feel like you've been hit by a bus every single time. It's one of the worst things to damage in a wrestling match, like we talked about. You lose your lung capacity, you lose your breathing, and right now we're gonna see some serious work and damage done to the ribs.
Yeah, the intercostal cartilage being stretched and twisted here.
Did you learn that in Edwinn's class, intercostal cartilage?
I learned it from Gorilla Monsoon and then Joe Dombrowski.
Oh, okay.
We're all stealing from one another.
Absolutely, and look at Cowpoke fighting back. Oh, but that spear.
Man, Edwinn cut him in half. Again, going to the ribs.
Cowpoke
Take away the air, take away the breath.
He's sucking wind, Jim, I'm telling you. He's in a bad way. We're going right back to the ribs again. And Jakob Edwinn going to dig them knuckles in again. Oh no, he's going straight for that claw.
And this is torturous right here. Again, that intercostal cartilage is so sensitive to damage. And Jakob Edwinn is going to look to torture Cowpoke Paul in the center of the Ryse ring. You're damn right, this is home turf for Cowpoke Paul. That's why Jakob Edwinn is trying to humiliate the Cowpoke.
Jim, this crowd is so out of control, I can barely make out what you're saying right now. Cowpoke Paul is taken back over.
The tide has turned, but for how long?
Wow, unbelievable counter to the hip toss.
Shoulders down. Up and over again here, shoulders down.
He got him.
It takes just 3 seconds, and a Cowpoke has done it.
Cowpoke Paul, victorious, getting a hit of revenge against the Professor.
And in his Ryse debut, Jakob Edwinn learning exactly why you don't cross the Cowpoke on his home turf.
One heck of a contest! Welcome to Ryse Wrestling!
I believe Cowpoke knows he was in a fight.
That was a great contest. There's no argument from this commentary table.
And maybe Jakob Edwinn is going to be, I mean, he certainly had a hell of a showing for himself. I wouldn't mind seeing Jakob Edwinn back in a Ryse ring. That was a very competitive contest.
There we go. That's what we love to see. Oh, you've got to be kidding.
You know, the guy's a hell of an athlete, but he's a jerk.
It all goes back to the sweater, Jim.
Edwinn's a jerk. Hit the bricks, pal. You lost.
And just like that.
But I got a feeling that this rivalry that Jakob Edwinn has provoked is far from over. It has taken just one man to turn Ryse Wrestling upside down, and it's Ron Mathis.
Upside down, inside out, and thrown in the trash. That's the way Ron Mathis loves his wrestling.
He's gone after our security. He's gone after, wait, that's our head of security, Phil.
Again, I said it before, I'll say it again. Just practice quiet quitting, man. Do the bare minimum, it's okay.
Phil was our head of security that Ron Mathis has attacked on more than one occasion. And I believe Phil just got sent for a coffee break, so we don't have another insurance disaster out here at the hands of Ron Mathis.
He's coming in.
Hey! What the hell are you doing over here? Get out of here! Where the hell is Ty Cross? I'm all alone here.
Jim.
As I was saying, nobody is safe around Ron Mathis.
You know I can move that fast, did you? I didn't retire for lack of speed, Jim, I'll tell you that much.
Don't you tell me anything about lack of speed. Jace Oliver is ready for a fight.
He's got that street fight gear on, he's ready. We've seen Ronnie's rules enough times now. Competitors know when they're in this situation how to prepare.
Coming out with the jeans, that's Dusty Rhodes style.
While I will say Ronnie's rules is still an advantage Ron Mathis. It might not be the advantage it was a month or two ago because Jace Oliver knows how to prepare for this. He knows what's in store.
Look out, here we go, ring the bell. As I was saying, the knee pads over the jeans, that's Dusty Rhodes style right there, brother. He's got some hard times in Uniontown.
And I gotta say too, there's something mentally that drives you a little more when you're wrestling in street gear like that. I've done it in the past. It is unbelievable what kind of energy it gives you. It works you up. You know you're not just a wrestling match. You're in a fight.
Shooting star press. No pressure, Jace Oliver is gonna live up to that moniker because he's not gonna sweat Ron Mathis. He's not gonna sweat Ronnie's rules.
This could have been the worst draw, booking-wise, Ron could have received.
And we know that back in January, Jace Oliver was very close to gaining that grand championship. And you want to put yourself back in the championship conversation. If you derail Ron Mathis,
he goes low.
Putting yourself in favor with management.
Ron Mathis tried to apologize and beg off. Faded Oliver in. Oliver didn't quite fall for it. Oliver didn't quite fall for it, but still caught him off guard just enough to get that low blow and absolutely shift the momentum of this contest.
And this is all legal. Blatant choking with that kendo stick is all legal in Ronnie's rules. Referee Brian McGowan is literally only there to count a 3 or call for a submission.
Or possibly move a danger child.
And our VIP guests tonight are going to get their money's worth because Jace Oliver may end up in the front row.
Wait a second, Ronnie's going up over the top. Ron Mathis, what's he thinking here?
Look out.
Big elbow off the apron.
Cactus style elbow, and Ron Mathis, that's showing you how demented that guy is. He's willing to hurt himself to inflict damage on an opponent. And once again, I want to thank you for leaving me high and dry and taking a hike when that psychopath comes over here with a kendo stick.
I got fight or flight, and I'm all flight, brother.
Cover on the floor, 2.5. I don't know if Ron Mathis is one to be critiquing anyone else's hairstyle. You think he paid for that haircut?
You're real pretty.
Probably more than he deserved.
I just said that, stupid.
Ron Mathis is an absolute psychopath. And I've said it in the past.
Well, just
when
look
you're
at
on
him,
the floor,
he's one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
you're in the water with a shark when you're out there.
Oh, look out.
Wait, that's a rollout.
Small package on the floor. Brian McGowan slightly out of position, but I can't blame him.
Big cross chop right to the throat and jaw. You know how you know Ron Mathis is nuts? I can't say with a 100% certainty he's never eaten human.
Oh, look out.
Oh no, they're coming too close.
Brother, they come over here, I'm leaving. Seriously, I'm putting the headset down. I'll take another 4 or 5 month vacation. Get the hell out of here.
You got to be kidding me.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to stay on this time. I'm going to stay on and call this action. Wait. Chase Oliver blocked and a big shot. And I'm going to save the TV monitor. Huge kick. Wow. Chase Oliver's coming over here. Ty, we're back in it now. We're back in it after that 5-40. You want to get in on this? Do you want to get on this now? Dude, Chase Oliver's whooping his ass right now. We're whooping his ass. I'm back. We're back. This doesn't feel like my headset. Is this my headset? This is absolute madness. I feel like I'm on the ground reporting in a war zone here. But Ron Mathis back in control.
What the hell is going on here?
I mean, where are you going to find action like this anywhere but Ryse Wrestling Gym?
Look out. Tilt-a-whirl satellite head scissors.
All the way into that post. Big super kick, wow.
Cover on the floor.
And what happens if Chase Oliver is able to upset, and I hate to say it, but upset because of the rules? Ron Mathis, does that end Ronnie's rules? What's going on?
You know, I'm going to put it this simple, Ty Cross. My young nephew, Don King,
Cowpoke.
I want to live long enough to see him grow up. So when they come over here, I'm leaving. I was gone.
Big eye poke and Ronnie back in control. We've got Chris LaRusso apologizing to fans. Ron Mathis has lost his mind. And Chase Oliver was dropped back first right across that apron.
We said nobody was safe, and our equipment wasn't safe either. Chachi almost took a coronary with our hard camera teetering here. Ron Mathis, he would hit anybody. We got monitors, equipment over here. Ron Mathis doesn't care. I'm going to try to compose ourselves here.
He said, I'm going to beat the pretty boy in his own game. Ron Mathis is going to try to fly. And he's going to fail.
Thank God, no water in the pool. And I know we're supposed to be impartial, but somebody has to put an end to Ron Mathis. You know, Ty Cross, I wasn't on blood pressure medication until this, but I think I'm going to need some.
Now Chase Oliver's got the chance to fire back here.
Chase Oliver is keeping up with Ron Mathis in Ronnie's rules. You want to know how adaptable Chase Oliver is? He's fighting the shark in the deep end here. He's fighting the shark in the deep water. And he is so dynamic. Two and a half. And he might be a psychopath, but you can't doubt the toughness of Ron Mathis.
Probably too crazy to know he's hurt.
I'm not sure if Mathis is off medication he should be on or on some medication he should be off.
I've never seen
Something's wrong with this guy.
eyes on a human being like you see on Ron Mathis. When you look in those eyes, it is unbelievable. The man is insane.
Counters out here.
Chase Oliver's in a bad way now.
Every time Ron Mathis is in Ryse, it's completely unpredictable.
Oliver's trying to fight out this pile driver. That's a bad place to be.
We saw what Mathis did to Lewis with that pile driver. Sense of urgency from Chase Oliver. Death Valley driver in the corner.
This is unbelievable, Jim.
Could Jace be going for a home run?
Wait a second.
Who's that? Who is
Is
that?
that Bruce Gray?
That's that is Bruce Gray.
That was Bruce Gray.
We haven't seen him
The
in Ryse in
DDT!
months.
The master of the DDT, Bruce Gray.
We haven't seen. He hasn't been in Ryse in 3 years? White pile driver. Ron Mathis had an ace up his sleeve.
Unreal. The last time we saw Bruce Gray in Ryse Wrestling, I think I was still in the ring, Jim. I think I was wrestling them.
That's. I mean, it's got to be what, 3.5 years. What is Bruce Gray doing here? We didn't even recognize him.
Oh,
Phil,
no.
Phil's back.
Oh, wait a second.
Phil's got Ron Mathis.
Oh, the low blow.
And that wasn't smart, Phil. Because Phil's outnumbered and Chase Oliver's hurt.
Oh, not the DDT on the chair. Oh, wow.
That's our head of security, for God's sake.
And now I gotta go help. But can I be honest with you? I'm gonna wait till Bruce and Ron get out of the ring.
Just when we thought things couldn't get more out of control with Ron Mathis, he brings his old running buddy, Bruce Gray, into Ryse. What does this mean?
And now they're robbing the man too.
What does this mean going forward?
Pure trash.
Who knows what in the hell is next in Ryse Wrestling?
Former grand champion himself. I'm sorry, Jim, you take over.
The man that was never pinned, that never submitted, and that never gave up the grand championship, has a chance to reclaim that title here tonight.
What an Emmy-worthy shot that was by our camera crew. Oh my goodness!
What the hell is Mathis doing? That son of a bitch just
Wait a
crossed the
second!
line. Thank God Pretty Boy Smooth is doing what's right. You don't put your hands on a woman, you sick son of a... Oh, look out!
This is unreal!
What the hell is going on? This is our grand championship. No! Somebody call the cops. Mathis putting his hands on a woman. Pretty Boy Smooth doing what's right. But where does this leave the Grand Championship? And is that young lady at ringside all right? Somebody should be pressing charges against Ron Mathis. Ty, is she okay?
You're on another level tonight. Let's go! I don't get paid to work this hard. I know.
Security! Throw them out of the building! Security! Throw them out of the building! Security! Throw them out of the building!
Void their contracts, Chris!
A Grand Champ. Does anybody want to tell me what's going on? What are we doing here? Where does this leave the Grand Championship?
Listen, I checked up PB Smooth. I checked on PB Smooth. He's in bad shape.
What are we doing here, Chris? We're going to sanction this? So we're going to go with this.
It's bad.
All right. I don't know how much our audience heard this, but Chris LaRusso told me this is going to happen.
You're gonna tell them no?
I'm not telling him anything. It's up to you guys. I don't know what's going on around here. It's going to happen. Which means that man right there, Edric Everhart, is grinning from ear to ear.
PB could barely hold himself up in the corner right now.
Edric Everhart has never pinned or made PB Smooth submit for that Grand Championship. Tonight, Edric has that opportunity. Tonight, Edric could erase all of that doubt. Or conversely, PB Smooth could reclaim that championship.
Pretty Boy Smooth is at a huge disadvantage. He took a steel chair right across the side of that knee while it was pinned up against the steel post. We know how easily the knee can be injured. And look at the look on Edric Everhart's face. He knows. And I think if you look in the eyes of PB Smooth, he knows too. That knee is in bad shape. It's
And like a pit bull, Edric Everhart gonna latch on to the knee there. And 99% of the time, the physical gifts of PB Smooth are an asset. But when you're that tall, if you take out one of your legs, you're severely compromised.
Edric Everhart knows exactly what's going on here too. I had the same injury happen to me when Edric was my tag team partner, and he had to go to the hospital to see me that night. And Pretty Boy Smooth is out here trying to compete in a Grand Championship matchup with what's probably the exact same injury.
Come on, PB!
Edric Everhart does not care how he gets the job done. He doesn't care that he's coming into this matchup with a huge advantage. He doesn't care that he's not beating PB Smooth at 100%. He just wants to successfully defend the title and get out of Dodge. That's all that matters to Edric Everhart. He doesn't care about proving anything to anybody. The only possession that he cares about is that grand championship.
And that the record books will say that he defeated Pretty Boy Smooth.
And I can't believe on this night we've had Money Shot interject themselves. We had Ron Mathis turn this place upside down.
I'm thinking we need to ask for raises, Jim.
I need to get some hazard pay, brother. Like I said, I'm not on blood pressure yet, but I will be after this night. And there are so many susceptible spots to damage in the knee. The ACL, the MCL, the meniscus, the patella tendon. Who knows how much damage was done with that chair shot to Pretty Boy Smooth.
And I've said it in the past, something as delicate and finicky as a knee that you can injure with no contact. To have something like that happen, it's basically game over for Pretty Boy Smooth, you gotta wonder at this point. Wait a second.
And Everhart may be knocked out. 2.5.
I thought PB, maybe it only takes one punch to catch somebody. I thought maybe PB was gonna get it done there.
Ty, it was a non-wrestling situation, but as someone that's had tendon surgery before, I can tell you that an injury to a tendon or anything like that is, I mean, it's months to heal from that.
Look at the strength, but now the knee. That wheel gave out again.
No,
wait a second! Edric took off too early!
A rare miscalculation from the champion.
I think Edric had it timed, but PB Smooth, because he was stumbling, it actually worked out in his favor.
Could be looking to plant Edric, who went right back to the knee.
Edric tried to time it, and he got it there.
Game over.
And you hate to see this. What we thought was going to be the clash of titans in Ryse Wrestling comes down to an attack from a couple of crazies.
We thought we would see the controversy of the Ryse Grand Championship settled, and we only now have more questions than we have answers, because the bottom line is we still don't know if Edric Everhart can defeat Pretty Boy Smooth when PB Smooth is at 100%. But we know Edric Everhart doesn't care about any of that. That's all he cares about is that championship belt right there. But I have to tell you, there are more questions than answers around the Ryse Grand Championship.
You want to talk about a blue chip prospect, Shaw Mason. Step into the Ryse ring once again.
Ty Cross, second half of Ryse Pro Wrestling. Shaw Mason, an amateur standout here on IndyWrestling.us, the Indie Wrestling Network. Partner, we had a wild evening. I don't even want to predict what's going to happen in this second half.
I feel like I'm sitting in my chair to start the show, and it's already a mistake because I got to be able to up and run at any moment.
The Iceman, Tony Johnson, will oppose Shaw Mason. Shaw Mason, a A tough assignment.
This is a test.
Absolutely.
This is a real test for Shaw Mason.
Shaw Mason talked a big game previously. We're going to see if he lives up to that.
He is the calm, cool, and collected combatant of Ryse Wrestling, the Iceman Tony Johnson, former Ryse Grand Champion. He's had an up and down 2023 so far, mostly down. But I think this is the perfect contest for Tony to really turn the year around.
The Iceman is here, and he's not going to let Shaw Mason make a statement at his expense.
This place is just as big as the dump as I left.
And I want to give a big shout out to Megan, who is our ring announcer tonight, standing in for Red Watson.
Doing a great job so far.
As much as we love Red, I believe we can all agree that Megan is much prettier than Red Watson.
Honestly, I'm not noticing the difference in terms of like looks, but I'm not paying attention to that sort of thing.
Participation award for this loser.
Also a married man, Jim.
What certainly didn't stop you from citing the good looks of Red Watson. Let's give Megan some credit as well.
I didn't say Red Watson was good looking. I'm a married man. I'm not going to talk about other people here. I do think Red Watson's a very handsome man, and here we got a lockup.
Standing switch here from Mason, showing off that amateur background. Takedown.
Now, I noticed Shaw Mason was
Got
a lot
the
of
shoulders
medals to the
down.
ring here, so thinking maybe wrestling with Shaw Mason might be a mistake for the Iceman.
Yeah, he's won some amateur titles in the Buckeye State. But if you're overconfident, you're going to end up looking up at the lights. And the Iceman isn't going to sweat Shaw Mason, as you can tell from the relaxed demeanor. Waistlock here, transitions into the headlock. And there's a true pro taking Shaw Mason down to the canvas where you can win the matchup. Back heel trip from Shaw Mason, nicely done. Floats over.
Now, Tony is a student of this game and has been for over a decade. I believe he's been wrestling now for 13 years.
And you were there for many of those years.
Pretty much the entire time. But I got to say, when you're stepping in the ring with someone who's a decorated amateur and you've been focusing on the pro style of professional wrestling, Shaw Mason, as we've already seen so far, is going to hit Tony with stuff he's not expecting.
I don't think Shaw Mason, thank you, brother. I don't think Shaw Mason is going to get an Ohio chant started here. I want to thank our Ryse staff for bringing me a crisp beverage.
I didn't know they could do that.
And now Shaw Mason can go for that Greco-Roman knuckle lock.
Tony's showing a little bit of a strength advantage here. Definitely got the height advantage on Shaw Mason.
And that will be the leverage here for the wrist lock. But Shaw Mason, man, what a snap over on that fireman's
That
carry.
was beautifully done. And Shaw has to go to the ropes and break the hold here. Very interesting.
Two ring generals. That is the upside of that amateur background, always being aware of where you are your shoulders close to the canvas. Shaw Mason in that exchange knew when to grab the ropes.
And I got to say, because I've said it in the past, pound for pound, Tony might have the most raw power in this Ryse locker room. So something to think about here, too. I'm sure Shaw Mason's a strong kid, but Tony Johnson has strength you don't even know he has. It's unbelievable.
Johnson possesses a lot of that core strength. And he's certainly a precise striker, as you can see on your screen right there. And this is how precise the Iceman can be. He's going to lower those shots in the corner and follow up with the strikes here. Just take a listen.
Dead center into the chest, that chop from Tony Johnson. Shaw Mason needs to think about things. He needs to try to get out of dodge or collect himself here a little bit. Those stiff European uppercuts from the Iceman. I'm telling you, Shawn Mason's finding himself in a bad way early on here. He was impressive at the beginning with the wrestling, but this is an amateur. That hold for hold is only going to get you so far when you're in with a striker the level of the Iceman, Tony Johnson. Hardest I've ever been hit. Tony Johnson's European uppercuts.
Look out here. That's an innovative offense from the Iceman, being able to generate offense from each and every angle. You're going to see that right here. A signature of Tony Johnson here. Extra torque for extra impact on the backbreaker. The pain etched on the face of Mason.
And the disorientation from that spin. Ice pick kick, no!
I believe that was a shot to the Achilles. I don't know if that was the
It looked like it was the back of the knee. I'll tell you right now, I don't think it's legal in amateur. The chop block.
We talked about how resourceful Shawn Mason is. He's going to use those ropes to assault the ligaments of the Iceman.
And to give Shawn Mason credit, he took his blows, he took the damage, and he scouted himself live in that ring. An opportunity, he found it and he took it.
Could be going for an Achilles lock here. Ty,
Look at the knee into the
you've
thigh.
been a fan of the early years of mixed martial arts, you know, that Lion's Den credentials. You know how effective those leg locks can be.
absolutely.
Obviously, combat sports has influenced the style that Shawn Mason brings to the table, and that's why he's transitioning so seamlessly right now from maneuver to accumulate the damage on the knee.
Well, and that, oh, look, Tony's trying to work something in here, a roll up.
Could steal it here.
That Lion's Den style of MMA really plays well into the wrestling aspect. It's a strong transition.
Very mat-based.
Everyone cheer Tony's name!
And if Shawn Mason hesitates here, he's going to get knocked out. You can't play games like this with Tony Johnson.
But when you're up as much as he's up right now physically on the former grand champion, the cockiness is going to show up. I thought he did a good job so far of keeping that kind of corralled, but beautiful.
Transition nicely done, and that's what I'm telling you. So seamlessly, Shawn Mason is able to go from maneuver to maneuver. Able to work his way from one maneuver to the next, progressing a game plan. And nothing scientific about that, just twisting and wrenching, contorting the leg.
Like I said, to Shawn Mason's credit, he's adapting to what Tony, the openings that Tony has given him. He came in trying to wrestle Tony and realized that wasn't going to get the job done, as great as he is, as skilled as he is. So he's adapted and now working on that knee. But I'm telling you right now, Tony fighting back big out of the corner. Back to that leg again.
Man, latching onto the leg into
That's
the
just
ankle
an ankle
lock.
pick into an ankle lock there. Tony needs to try to roll through here.
Trying to reverse the left.
Wow!
Desperation maneuver, but the Iceman able to free himself.
If there are no dislodged teeth in his jaw, I will be surprised. What an unbelievable toe kick right across the jaw. Shawn Mason doesn't look like he knows where he is.
Could be the Iceman's chance here. He's fighting on one leg, but fighting nonetheless.
Even on one leg, Iceman's strikes are so impactful.
Elevation into the European uppercut.
Definitely some dislodged teeth there.
Watch out for the handspring.
Right in the temple, but Tony's unable to get over for a quick cover.
Back press.
I thought that was it. And look at the eyes of Shawn Mason.
And you know Tony has to be favoring that leg if he's going to go for a second cover to try to get this one over with. Tony Johnson is such a smart athlete. He knows that you cannot waste an opportunity to potentially get a victory.
I'm telling you, I looked at Shaw Mason's eyes. His mind looks lost in the woods right now. Going for another backbreaker here. Wait!
Backslide. He got it! Man! Wow! I gotta be honest, that's a shocker. As talented as Shaw Mason is, that's an upset. This crowd is stunned.
Tony's stunned.
Less than wearing tie cross. It takes just 3 seconds.
What an unbelievable turn of events here. Tony Johnson looked firmly in control. I know the camera isn't catching it right now, but he's laughing on the mat. He knows he screwed up somehow here. Got himself caught. Very unlike the Iceman to get himself caught like that.
Very uncharacteristic of the Iceman, but you got to give credit to Shaw Mason. He hung in there step for step and then defeated a former Ryse Grand Champion. Shaw Mason just put himself in the conversation of Ryse Wrestling. But what does this mean for Tony Johnson?
I think I'm numb to it now. Lost, I think I'm numb.
Johnson is certainly disappointed. What can be next for Tony Johnson?
This crowd was expecting Brandon K, but it was just another cruel trick from the Great Success.
What kind of crooked cosplay is this? The Great Alexander, I believe, has Brandon K's gear on, for God's sake. That's not his property. He's wearing the singlet of Brandon K. Besides being unsanitary, it's disrespectful.
You think he can do the split on the apron thing like Brandon?
I hope he tears every muscle in his body. Does the Great Alexander. This guy is unbelievable.
Not gonna lie, tearing a muscle in his body would be a pretty good Brandon K impression, don't you think? Here comes the heart and soul of Ryse Wrestling. The heart of the stronghold himself, Tad Jarvis.
One of the premier students from the Stronghold Academy who's really launched a career for himself, particularly in the past 6 months or so. We've seen Tad Jarvis really hit his stride, enter the prime of his career. Some consider the torch of Ryse Wrestling to go to Tad Jarvis. But
that was very un-Brandon K-like right there.
You can't turn your back. You just can't. And after what we saw earlier tonight, you know that Tad Jarvis.
Tad was setting up for a super dive and got caught. He wants now fighting back.
He wants a measure of revenge for his mentor, but the numbers are against him, as you can see right there. Alexander dug very deep in his pockets to acquire the services of Johnny Norris.
You think Norris is the one that repossessed the gear for Brandon?
That's very possible. Swing and a miss from Alexander. And if anybody deserved to get punched in the face, it's certainly the great Alexander. Look out here.
Tad through the middle rope. Big Tope taking down all three members of the Great Success.
No need for a spare. He got the strike right there.
Great Alexander trying to apologize, probably for stealing Brandon's gear.
Man, Jarvis ricocheting off the canvas upon the impact that time. And this is that nasty side of Alexander. He is a vicious, nasty human being.
Look at these stomps.
And
Vicious.
The fire within Tad Jarvis may be put out here. It's been such a chaotic evening. You have to think whatever game plan Tad had coming into this thing was thrown out the window, because we still don't know the condition of Brandon K after he got cracked in the head with that oak gap. Up and over here. Look out. Jarvis got hung up. We've talked about how dangerous those ring cables are.
Wow,
Man.
Assisted by the middle rope.
I've never seen that
Snap
before.
suplex. Beautifully done.
As much as you can't stand the attitude of Alexander, the ability is there. The skills are there.
The creativity is there. That was artistry at work. Double team choke now on the middle rope. The disrespect, stripping that Ryse t-shirt off the heart of the stronghold. Oh, the dirty, vicious eye poke. The great Alexander. He's pulling out all the stops here.
He's got a Shemp haircut, but he's no Mo Howard, I'll tell you that.
Beautiful snap suplex.
That was textbook right there.
Here's a cover. Here's a cover.
Man. Barely escapes that time.
Tad Jarvis now really needs to start fighting back here. Starting to get a little out of control for Tad.
One thing is for sure, Ty Cross, we are going to be talking about this night, March 11th of 2023, for a long time.
The stupid mustache chants now rain down on the great Alexander. Is it going to get him rattled? Is it going to get him shook? Or is it just going to motivate him?
Jarvis isn't going to give up. Not going to happen. That's not how he's built.
Huge clubbing blow to the back.
And again, we're seeing that nasty nature of Alexander. I believe he caught Jarvis in the throat with one of those shots at least.
Big splash. Jarvis is starting to pick up some momentum, and it is
interception. Interception. Big time collision in center ring. Wow. Competitive matchup here.
Tad Jarvis is one of the toughest competitors in this company to pin for 3 seconds. Those shoulders do not know how to stay down.
Intercepts the knee. Jarvis counters, swinging elbow misses, but Jarvis does not. Tattoos Alexander upside the head. Pivotal point in this contest, Ty. First man to their feet will certainly have a definitive advantage in the conclusion of this contest.
I don't think Tad's going to be able to get to his feet first. Alexander looks like he's got the advantage so far.
A lot of grit, a lot of tenacity here.
I was wrong. Tad gets up first.
Tad gonna fight through the adversity.
And that was a deep maneuver there.
Up into the lights. And could Jarvis be moments away from gaining a measure of revenge? But Alexander puts on the brakes.
He had it scouted.
Could be going for that greatness driver. He hits it. That's the coup de grace of the great Alexander. Will it be enough? It is not.
I'm surprised the great Alexander has been able to fight back after how deep that inverted atomic drop was. You see the toughness of the great Alexander, but you really see on display the toughness of Tad Jarvis. Went for a kill shot there. Spear!
Cut him in half. And you can't deny the toughness of Alexander either, excuse me.
And now the heart of the stronghold. Fighting off all members of the great. Wait a second.
What the hell is David Lawless doing out here again? Hasn't this jerk done enough? Ridiculous. Megan, don't give him the mic.
But that's further from the truth. I came here tonight to end that old, decrepit man's career. You know, Brandon aligns himself with these kids that think they're good at professional wrestling, but the truth is, the great success is the future of professional wrestling. The first class is in a nursing home, so he never has to get anywhere close to the professional.
Wait a second. Brandon K has made his way through the curtain.
Well, this isn't smart because we know Brandon got hurt earlier. Who knows if he's medically cleared?
Not to mention his gear was stolen. No, Brandon's in a bad way.
His equilibrium is clearly off, Ty.
Russo can't let him in the ring.
Wait, what are we doing here?
Wait a second. We got a matchup here.
Jace Mara from the stronghold, who just drop kicked the gavel out of his shoes. I believe those pink laces are going to end up in the 4th row.
Jace Mara been dragged to the floor. Is he going to eat a choke slam here? Onto the apron.
And Jace Mara is going to get mugged. That's what this is going to be, because the great success are still out here. You know, Ty, when I saw that David Lawless was announced for this event, I got some heartburn right in the middle of my sternum, and this is why, because the guy is insufferable.
I was excited. I was happy to see David Lawless back in a Ryse ring, I got to be honest with you. And here we see some Stronghold versus Great Success face-to-face here.
Well, Jason Hendrix, who we saw earlier tonight, is hopefully going to even up the score.
I was excited. I genuinely was to see David Lawless. I like competition. Attitude's one thing. I like great competition, but I'll tell you what Lawless has tried to do here tonight is not in the spirit of great competition.
Well, Lawless's reputation precedes him. We know that he's one of the most cerebral and one of the most accomplished professional wrestlers anywhere in the Pittsburgh area. We understand that. We've seen that for several years. But the guy is completely insufferable as he takes down Jace Mara again. And let's make no mistake about it. David Lawless came back here because he wants the Pittsburgh wrestling world to be talking about the gavel David Lawless. It's self-serving. He wants to be the man that finally put Brandon K out of professional wrestling. And he may have accomplished it because we don't know the condition of Brandon K. Duck under here. Jumping Hurricane Rana.
And the Stronghold side trying to get behind Mara here, but it might not be enough. Lawless
just so slick inside those ring ropes.
Mastering the neck breaker from all different points.
Referee Brian McGowan assuring Lawless it was just 2. But we know that the gavel will be happy to continue to assault the future of Ryse Wrestling. You want to talk about trial by fire, it's like, welcome to Ryse Wrestling. You draw the gavel, David Lawless. One of the most notorious athletes we've ever seen in a Ryse ring. And that covers a lot of ground, doesn't it?
And a former cohort as well of Commander Sterling, so what has the gavel learned from them? You got to think too. Strategy. That's a 400 level class in strategy when you're working under the Commander. Almost took this whole company over.
And the gavel is taking his time. The gavel wants to enjoy punishing this up-and-coming athlete in Jace Mara. And you can see that this is the gavel's MO. He enjoys antagonizing this Ryse crowd.
Yeah, but they're just getting behind Jace now, giving him that extra juice. That extra Jace juice. Double duck. Double line.
Man, big mid-ring collision. Mara looks like he's seeing stars. All the air driven out of him that time. And let's not forget the tension bubbling at ringside between Cowpoke Paul, Jason Hendrix, and the entire Great Success on the outside. This entire night has really been bubbling over the edge, don't you think?
Absolutely. Tad Jarvis on his feet as well. This thing is so close to coming to blows on the floor.
And wouldn't the Gavel have some egg on his face if he's unsuccessful here?
Drop kick into the shoulder, into the official. Beautiful spine buster.
Brian McGowan's hurt. I don't know how many officials. And the fight is on. The fight is on in Uniontown. It's not about winning a matchup anymore. There's a lot of pride and self-respect on the line.
This is unbelievable.
It's gang warfare out here.
Hendrix joining the fight on the other side of the ring now.
And what's Jace Mara gonna do?
He's thinking something up.
This could be very risky.
Over the top rope, wow!
Jace Mara willing to risk it, willing to sacrifice himself in this fight against a great success.
But Lawless is sitting in wait. Right across the knee.
He picked his spot. And that now the Gavel is incensed.
I cannot believe he got the shoulder up. The official that was knocked down, unable to make a full speed count. He got him!
On a night full of upsets, that may have been the biggest upset. And David Lawless throwing a temper tantrum at ringside.
What a way to defend your teacher, and what a way to defend your home.
The Gavel looks like he's in tears, and Brandon K, the mentor, is certainly proud of his students. And Uniontown is certainly proud of Jace Mara.
Hello, old friend. You know, I've been away for a while. And in that time, Edric, you've done quite a bit, haven't you? You've achieved all the things, whether you want to admit it or not, I know you've dreamed about. And despite our differences, Edric, I've always wanted those things for you because I've always known just how good you were. And I knew the moment someone gave you the opportunity, you would show them all. And you have. But despite all the accolades that you've reached, all the proverbial feathers that you've put in your cap, there's still one that you have yet to collect. That's me. So what I'm proposing, Edric, if you don't fear the Reaper, then why don't you fight the Reaper for the Ryse Grand Championship? What do you say, buddy? Care to dance with death one last time?
Championship match for next month.
Main event time, Ryse Pro Wrestling, March 11th, 2023. My name is Jim Amata, being joined by Ty Cross. And there you're seeing right now the controversial combination of Money Shot, Elijah Dean and Zach Nystrom, the duo that quite literally forced their way into Ryse and have manipulated their way into a Ryse tag team title shot. Their talent is undeniable.
You can say it, Jim. They've changed the landscape.
The reputation that they bring to Ryse speaks for itself. But if they capture those championships, as you said, Ty Cross, that is a total game changer for this promotion.
They have absolutely changed the tag team division landscape just by their appearance here in Ryse Wrestling.
But did Money Shot hedge their bets a little bit too much? Because when they interrupted that tag team right there, those former Ryse tag team champions right there, they increased the odds of this matchup. Maruso decided to make this a four-way tag team matchup. So now, Money Shot has to deal with not only one team, but three teams as opponents here.
I have never seen the Runway look more motivated than they are right now.
Tag team continuity personified is Calvin Couture and Tyler Klein, but the exact same thing can be said for Elijah Dean and Zach Nystrom. And the Rad Boyz just wanted to get themselves into the conversation for those championships. They now find themselves in the main event for those very titles. Elliott and Wily are two young men that turned a lot of heads for their potential. They could realize all of that potential in one night. The question is that night tonight? We're going to find out before we go off the air here. And if you're the champions, they are equally as perplexed as Money Shot, because instead of defending those titles against the championship pedigree tag team, they now have to contend with 2 more challengers as well.
Edric and myself have had to defend the Ryse Tag Team Championships against 2 other teams, but never can I recall 3 other teams challenging for the titles when we were the champions.
Calvin Lewis and Malcolm Cambridge may have the odds stacked against them here in this main event, but we're going to see if they can overcome those odds. Let's go to Megan.
This is your feature presentation. This is the Ryse World Tag Team Championship. Your referee tonight, Dick Brown. This match is a one-horse match, 1 fall to a finish. Your challengers in the purple lap from the great state of Texas.
Confidence oozing from the challengers.
Your challengers in the orange and there you go. From straight off the catwalk, weighing in at 48 karat gold.
Of the 3 teams that are challengers in this matchup, it is only the Runway that has championship experience here in Ryse.
And yellow, weighing in at 380 pounds of energy. From Colville, USA, Braden, Elliott, Wily, the Rad Boyz. And now, your Ryse World Tag Team Champions, your defending Ryse World Tag Team Champions, from Cleveland, Ohio, and a weight combined of 330 pounds. Malcolm Cambridge, Calvin Lewis, members only.
There's the champions. And to tell you how far Ryse Tag Team Wrestling has come and grown, of the 8 competitors in the ring right now, I myself and Edric Everhart as tag team champions only ever shared the ring with Calvin Couture. That is how much new talent and new blood has flocked to the Ryse Wrestling Tag Team Division.
And we're going to see just who will walk out of this building with those championships that were on display just moments ago. And let's not forget, Money Shot managed to get on the bad side of everyone in this matchup. So they certainly are getting what they deserve.
You could probably substitute this matchup with this company and still be correct.
Absolutely. But for members only, Calvin and Malcolm, they may have to go by any means necessary to retain these titles, because they're having an uphill battle here. 3 challengers, and on a wild night, things aren't calming down anytime soon. Collision of the Runway.
Now members only, and the Rad Boyz stand tall.
Keep in mind, Ty, it's important we let our audience know that this is a traditional tag matchup in the sense that you do need to make tags to enter the matchup. Because this was impromptu, I'm not sure if this was ruled a one-fall matchup.
They did say at the beginning this is one fall to a finish.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see, though, because in this kind of action, you're going to get some blind tags. You're going to get some people tagging in who aren't their partners just to try to get into the matchup. It is a completely different type of strategy. It's the wait-and-see game versus the jump-in and capitalize game, and it's so difficult to try to manage.
Out here, backslide, shoulders down.
You're going to see a lot of feet step through that middle rope, looking to maybe try to break up pinfalls.
And notice how Wily's going to try to slow things down here. He knew that he was on the short end of the stick in that exchange.
We got some personal shots being thrown out here. I can't repeat them on the microphone.
The Rad Boyz being sent off here. Big shoulder tackle from Cambridge. All action in the main event here with the tag titles on the line. 2 feet to the face. And we're definitely going to see the momentum tilt and shift throughout the duration of this main event.
Wild haymaker.
Nice back heel trip from Calvin Lewis. Into the arm drag. Elliott returns in kind.
And look, there you see.
That's what you were talking about, Ty.
The strategy, now the Runway in control.
You have to be in the ring to win the matchup.
Now I will say, when we did defend the tag titles against multiple teams at once, Calvin Couture was in that matchup, and the rules were very similar. You could tag anyone. So Calvin Couture has the experience in the Ryse ring, wrestling for the titles with this kind of strategy in mind.
All the blood rushing to the head, very disorienting, and immediately Tyler Klein, being a true pro, follows up with a pinfall attempt.
Makes so much sense that Couture would know, I can make the tag right here, get in, and start dealing some damage. This is getting so personal between these teams. But I guess that's all money shot. They made it personal from the get-go.
And as we said, tag team continuity personified is the Runway. Calvin Couture has a bona fide mean streak.
It's nice to see 4 tag teams in this ring with matching gear as well. Makes you feel good watching a tag match when all the gear matches up. Great tag team wrestling all around here.
These are your champions, huh?
Calvin keeping Lewis in the Runway corner, and that's smart strategy because, as we've mentioned, you have to be in the ring to win the matchup. Certainly, to your point, Ty, if you get in trouble, you can tag out to other teams, but it suits you to work with your partner to win this matchup.
Absolutely. Lewis's partner is clear on the other side of the ring, but if he's able to make it down the ropes, you're going to end up cutting that distance at by about a third to be able to make a tag if you're so desperate to get out of the ring.
The way that the Runway have boxed Lewis in the corner is really tag team wrestling 101.
Well, and you can't just cut the ring in half in this type of situation, as we talked about. You really only have a quarter of the ring to work with.
Lewis avoids the contact. Shoulders down, but the referee does not see it. Couture rolling out of dodge. And Elijah Dean tags himself in. And that's what we were talking about, because now it is money shot. that have the chance to win here, but the Rad Boyz would have something to say about that. Elliott's hitting anything that moves.
It looks like he tagged in legally as well. I didn't see it on the camera. But a little too much. Our money shot.
Money Shot's reputation precedes them, but it's put up or shut up time. If they walk out of here with the Ryse tag team titles, they've validated every claim they've made so far.
Wow. Huge strength, just whipping. Elliott into the corner.
We talked about tag team strategy the same way that the Runway isolated members only. Money Shot isolating the Rad Boyz.
Cheap shots all around now from Nystrom. You eliminate the people that Elliott can tag out to, you got a better chance. And now you see cutting the ring in half, a much more viable option now with two corners open. Let you open up the playbook a little bit more, but you got to be careful. Wily getting back up on the apron now. You got to be wary.
Man, Elliott just hit the floor very, very hard that time. Money Shot's going to press the advantage.
Back first into the apron.
Notice what Money Shot is doing is preventing Wily from making a tag.
And a huge Uranagi onto the apron.
Wily was taken down. He can't make the tag. Elliott.
That ring apron, the second hardest part of the ring. Of course, the steel post will be the hardest part of the ring.
Wily is on the floor, so I believe that Elliott's, as I said, Wily can't tag out. Elliott's by himself at this point. Again, if you tag out to an opposing team, you're essentially putting your opportunity to win this matchup on ice if you're not in the ring.
Yeah, but if you're the one that gets beat to the point that you're pinned, you lose as well.
Absolutely. Certainly strategy is going to be huge in this one.
And again, you see Money Shot able to keep everything squared into one corner, trying to avoid those opposite team tag outs.
Look out.
He caught him with the Uranagi.
I believe Nystrom got hit in the ear. He's off balance. Nystrom goes to the floor.
Wow, a spine buster.
Man, the man time just planted him with that spine buster.
I can appreciate a good-looking spine buster as a bit of a connoisseur myself. I use the move to a lot of success in my time, and look at Nystrom.
Elliott's in big trouble here.
And he catches with the NZ as well.
Wily's on the floor. Elliott's going to have to tag out to somebody else if he wants to survive this matchup. To your point, Ty, if he doesn't make the tag, he's in danger of being pinned here. Matchup is over. Lands on his
the back door.
Desperation tag into Malcolm. Cambridge is going to work, man. Cambridge is not going to relinquish these titles without a fight.
These boots are flying all over the place.
Elijah Dean got spiked.
Snapmare facebuster.
I believe that's a variation of a flatliner. Takes out Calvin Couture.
Cambridge all over the place here.
Members only are not going to give up here. They are not going to go quietly. They want to leave this building still the Ryse Tag Team Champions. We could be seeing a career-defining night for members only.
After the big stereo drop kicks. Big stereo dives as well. Money Shot on the floor. Wait a second, Rad Boyz are going to take flight.
Action everywhere, bodies all around ringside. And on a night this wild, this fits right in with the theme of this event.
And now here we are, money shot and members only, the way this night started.
And Elijah Dean gets planted. Wait,
I've lost complete track of who's legal here.
I believe it's money shot and members only, but hell if I know. This is crazy out here. Look out. Heart attack from the runway. Cover here.
Cambridge still able to kick out.
Looks like the Rad Boyz just leveled the boom on the runway.
And how about this, seeing tag team wrestling in the spotlight in the main event?
The Rad Boyz taking a shot at glory
Watch
here.
the sprinklers!
And Nystrom interrupts Nick Brown. The Rad Boyz may have had those championships won. Chaos reigning in this main event.
Wait a second, Wily caught.
He got, oh, look out. Oh, man. Wait, Elijah Dean. Elijah Dean.
He's going to capitalize.
Steal this one.
He did it.
Money shot, got it. Elijah Dean just stole it. They forced themselves into Ryse Wrestling. They forced themselves into the conversation. And now they have ripped away the Ryse Tag Team titles.
And as impressive as all four teams were tonight in this main event, Money Shot stacked the odds against themselves and still walk away with Ryse Gold.
Love them or hate them, the game just changed. Money Shot or the Ryse Tag Team Champions. Ty, I believe we're gonna have to wrap it up here. So for Ty Cross, I'm Jim Amato. We'll see you back here April 15th. Braxton makes her return. The Reaper, Matt Conard, makes his return to challenge for the Ryse Grand Championship. But the bottom line is, on this night, March 11th, you have to call Money Shot Ryse Tag Team Champions. We'll see you next time.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.